the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody
pressure comes and the Jags block it. And they are going to take possession of the football.
And that's truly the way to change field position, isn't it? Block the punt and then take over inside the 5-yard line. What a tremendous job by them. You change momentum, you change field position, and give yourself a chance to score.
Now it's Connor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Making now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Cleveland Farrell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. Here's Burrito. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From just shy of midfield, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Watson. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Well, being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Texans to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Connor. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Again, it's Connor, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports, and they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Foles. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
22 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Matt Breida with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Oh, this is what I love about calling these games. 4th and goal. This is all about leverage, who wants it more, and who's going to get it done at the point of attack, the line of scrimmage.
And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Shark's got it, left side. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 45 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Foles, throw complete to Herndon. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Foles, and he's going to go down again. Cleveland Farrell, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And now out comes Houston. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Now Watson, he's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cleveland Farrell has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a home.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and